Hey, Pretty Girl Club. I want to address something that someone commented on this YouTube channel, and I see this comment every now and again in the Discord. And that comment is, what if a fellow MLS person invalidates me? Like, what if a fellow light skinned person says I'm not light skinned? What if a fellow dark skinned exotical says I'm not a dark skinned mixed woman? What if someone who looks similar to me or someone who has a similar background to me invalidates me? Then what? My response is the same for that as it would be for anyone. Other people don't get to determine your identity. Biracials don't get to determine whether or not you yourself are a biracial. Other light skins don't get to determine whether you yourself can call yourself light skinned. They don't get to determine what you call your skin tone nickname. Other people can't tell you who your own family members are. And I've noticed that the only people who seem to get offended by a fellow biracial or MLS person kind of humbling them, it's because deep down inside there may be a part of you that either agrees with them or there may be a part of you that has an inferiority complex in comparison to them. Because I've noticed that some people, they will do this talking point of, if you're darker than me, you're not light skinned. I saw this with the ladies from Real Housewives of Potomac. They wanted to humble other light skinned women or other biracial women. They wanted to try to make those women feel inferior, or they wanted to make those women feel uncomfortable with their identities. But guess what? Nobody else gets to tell you who your family members are. You have the right to identify yourself by whatever mixed race nickname you see fit. You have the right to identify yourself based on whatever skin tone nickname you feel best describes your complexion. You're the one who's been living in your body for 30 years. You're the one who's been living with your complexion for multiple decades. You're the one who knows who your own ancestors are. So no one should actually be able to invalidate you. And I've noticed the only people that go out of their way to invalidate someone else's light skin or someone else's mixed race background is a person who has an inferiority complex about their own mixed identity, or they have an inferiority complex about their own skin tone. And so sometimes I notice that when they see someone who doesn't fit their stereotype of what a mixed person should look like, or you don't fit their stereotype of what a light skin should look like, then they start projecting and they have this mindset of, if I don't get to rep being mixed, you don't either. If I don't get to call myself light skinned, you don't either because you're darker than me. If I don't get to say I look mixed, you don't either because you have 4C hair. So they want to control your self-perception. And that is because that person, they don't like how they see their own self-perception, or they're unsure about how they see themselves. And so they don't want you to be sure of how you see yourself. So this is why, for me personally, when it comes to my identity, I will actually cut people off if they try to argue back and forth with my identity, or if they're the type of person that says, oh, well, you're not that light skinned, or you're not this, you're not that. That's the type of person that I would actually distance myself from, because I'm not going to spend the rest of my life defending my heritage or defending my identity. Anytime I'm around a friend or family member and I feel like I have to be defensive just to survive, like just to get through the day, just to get through a dinner, in my opinion, that person is going to be draining over time. It's very emotionally draining to have to constantly explain yourself, or to have to constantly explain why you believe certain things. So this is why I tend to, if I'm going to talk about MLS issues, I only talk about those things with other people who I feel are MLS identified. But because this movement is so new on YouTube, because the one drop rule has been so prevalent for so long, and because it has been so taboo for lighter skinned people to talk about their experiences with their skin tone, I do think that generally speaking, when you go out into the real world, people aren't really going to know about this topic, or they may not be talking about this topic. But guess what? They will be soon, because we're about to hit 10K on this channel. This channel is quickly growing. I've got lots of you guys joining the Patreon. I've got thousands of new people coming on here commenting and stuff like that. So I do believe that this talking point is going to become mainstream at some point. By the way, be sure to create your own YouTube channels, guys, because remember, when it comes to the mixed race phenotype, there is no set standard of how a mixed person is supposed to look. And I think that a lot of the darker skinned mixed women in particular have to speak up more and have to create your own channels, and you have to create your own spaces for yourself. We can't depend on monoracials to create spaces for us. We can't depend on other people to speak for us. We have to speak for ourselves. And if you're around friends who don't want to listen to you and they don't want to hear you speak, that's okay. That's what YouTube is for. That's what social media is for. That is what writing books is for. That's what making a podcast is for. That's what making an Instagram is for. You can create a whole platform where other people will be willing to listen to you. They will agree with your talking points. And I know that sometimes it can be tiring to go out in the real world and feel like you're delusional, but that's why we have this safe space here online. Sometimes when you're talking about something that is really revolutionary or something that is kind of newer, something that's not very popular yet, or it's not mainstream yet, it's going to be difficult to get people on board with you in real life. And so that's why, for me personally, I don't spend my time trying to convince other people how to identify themselves. I have never in my life argued with somebody over their identity. I've met plenty of biracial people who say, I'm just black or whatever, and they'll be damn near white passing. And that's fine. I don't even care. Like in real life, I've never said, oh, actually, you can't call yourself that. You need to call yourself golden. You need to call yourself mulatto. You need to call yourself this. No, I've never done that in real life and never will, because at the end of the day, if somebody chooses to identify themselves a certain way, I cannot control that. The only thing I can control is myself, and how you perceive yourself is the most important. And that's why that person is arguing with you and saying, well, you don't look mixed, or you don't look like this, you don't look like that, you can't speak, you're not even that light skinned. They're saying that because they know how powerful it is when you have a strong self-perception, and they don't want you to have a strong self-perception. That's why I said I would cut a person off who makes comments like that, because it's not about the racial comment at that point. It's about the fact that you don't want me to be able to have a strong self-perception. You don't want me to be able to define my own identity. You want control over my whole identity? Oh, hell no. You're instantly cut off. But anyway, what do you ladies think? Have you ever had a fellow exotical try to police you or try to invalidate whether it's your skin tone, your phenotype, your hair texture, your background? Have you ever had someone try to make you feel like somehow you don't fit in because you don't fit their stereotypes of what a mixed race person is? Or because you don't fit their stereotype of looking mixed, they want to point it out to you as if it's something negative. And the thing about looking mixed is it's so funny how you could be white passing. People understand a white passing mixed person, but suddenly people want to pretend like you can't be a black passing mixed person. I actually believe that there are more black passing mixed people than white passing mixed people. That's just my opinion, though. I have no proof of that. But anyway, what do you ladies think? Let me know in the comments section, and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.